To be honest, growing up, we had few options to choose from. When I mean few options, it was either you are a lawyer, a doctor, engineer. Nobody really knew other kinds of jobs like that. So, being that my dad was a seaman, so I had to venture into something that related to him. So, which I went into petroleum engineering. So the dream was not really to be a petroleum engineer, but engineer is engineer, so we got the degree at the end of the day. So yeah, funny enough, if this is the first time I'm saying this in years. My initial dream was to be an archaeologist. I used to enjoy watching Nat Geo Wild. I see all those guys on National Geographic Channel exploring old history. I mean, go to different locations like Egypt. You explore the Egyptian mummies, the ancient pyramids. I used to enjoy all those things, and I used to tell myself I want to be an archaeologist. But my mom would say to me, this thing doesn't pay now. And I really loved art. I could paint, I could sculpt. So art was one of my things that I really liked then. But getting into senior secondary, I had to drop art because the dream is now, I'm now living the dream of being an engineer for the sake of, as a Nigerian child now, family. It's either you're a doctor, engineer, or a lawyer, one of those. So archaeology was not really something that we, in our culture, we really understood. In terms of choosing a career space in Nigeria, like mostly in this part of the world, it has two different sides to it. Like I would say it has a good side and it has a bad side. We sometimes ask ourselves, is our parents, are we living the dreams of our parents, or we are actually living our own dream? My dad wants me to be a doctor. I have to be a doctor for the sake of my dad, and then you just have to accept it as you're growing up. You have to grow into that space. But when you look at it, it's the limited options we have in this part of the world. And when our parents are choosing these careers for us, it's not because they just want to see us as doctors. They want you to do something that in future you can survive with it, you can earn a living from it. Because like when I said I wanted to be an archaeologist, it was a dream that is something I enjoyed. In the Western world, there are lots of spaces for them. There are museums to work with. There are lots of artifacts, houses they can work with. Lots of documentary houses they can work with. But in this part of the world, I don't have that. Should I say we don't have that kind of space that I can say, okay, I'm going to Benin City, where we have the most beautiful arts in this country. I said I'm going to discover the ancient obas and the rest. So looking at that particular aspect, I would say the good side is our parents were just looking out for us to help us choose a career that will help us to earn a living. On the bad side, you can regret it in future. Oh, I don't want to be a doctor. I've never ever liked being a doctor. The stress of 6-7 years in university is not my thing. But because my dad asked me to be a doctor, what if I wanted to be a chef? That could be a child's dream. And you can also earn as a chef in Nigeria. But because your parents, why would you be a chef? Looking at it, let's say the stereotype in this part of the world, a chef has to be a woman and all those kinds of things. There are certain jobs that the society sees like a man should not be doing it, and then you think it's a woman. Yeah. So let's say you say you want to be a chef as a guy, and they're like, why should you be a guy? You're supposed to be a doctor. You're supposed to be an engineer. So in life, that you can now regret those choices you now made because your parents forced you to it. So that's why I said there's a good and a bad side to it. But in my opinion, I would say I'm a victim of both parental and societal barriers when it comes to career paths. In the sense that I didn't actually do what I wanted to do in life, like the archaeology I mentioned earlier. It was my dream as a growing child. But why I say I'm not also a victim is because the career path my parents made me choose actually shaped my life to a certain point. But the societal barrier brought in this obstruction that I can't even use that degree I got from the career path I chose to actually earn a living. So I now have to venture into other things. Like I used to tell people, my degree is sitting very comfortably in my in my drawer. So the societal barrier is very huge. Most of the times we consider the parental barrier of choosing career path as the bigger part of these issues, but the societal barrier is the major thing. There are lots of people that are currently not doing what they studied in school. I have a friend, we grew up together, we studied engineering together, but now he's a banker. I'm talking about a first-class engineering student in the petroleum industry, but he's a banker right now, and he's comfortable with it. So that's why I said the societal barrier is more of a problem. Like I said earlier, the parental barrier is also an issue, but parents should try to guide their kids and not enforce that career path on them. So that's it.